Remember back when I used to do these long and elaborate cold opens? Why did I do that? Welcome to Ask the Meadmaker, where I, Ricky the Meadmaker, answer your questions about mead making, mead drinking, mead brewing, and really any question you're willing to send to me. Our first question this week comes from Chris and several other people over the years who want to know if you can make a mead from a cannabis-infused honey and would it still have the effects of the cannabis? And the answer is yes, you can, and you'll want to bring that question up with your local weed advisor. Our next question comes from Mark, and he wants to know what are some of the things that professional brewers have to think about but home brewers never have to worry about. And the answer is right behind me. We are passivating this tank. So when you have a large stainless steel vessel, you need to do a special thing called passivation to keep it from rusting under liquid, which is cool and pretty easy, but also something I never ever thought I would have to know how to do. Our next question, I'm not going to tell you the name of the person who asked because I'm afraid that he's going to want a do-over on the question. He said, I'm thinking of doing the bitter bee/hop swarm recipe, and I wanted to know, wait for it folks, if I needed a fermentation vessel. He goes on to elaborate. It's like, I don't know, like a bucket with an airlock or something? And I'm here thinking, what's the alternative? Honey, hold your hands out. I'm gonna mix some honey and water, and if you could just stay like that for a couple weeks? Our next question is more of a comment, and comes from Morbode. He says, I was so worried when I saw you crying in this episode. I don't even know which episode, I cry all the time on this show. And I was afraid it was your last episode, or maybe you were closing your business. I am so glad to see that things are still going strong. Morbode, I am a very emotional man. It's the eve of Rosh Hashanah right now. I think we're all lucky that I'm not crying right now. Our last question this week comes from Jean-Sebastien from Quebec, and he wants to know if it's too late to add his pectic enzyme as it didn't show up in the mail in time and fermentation has already started in his Sizer, his apple mead. And the answer is, it's never too late to add pectic enzyme unless it's already in the bottle. Well, that's our last question this week. Keep sending them, and I'll get to them as soon as possible. Cheers.